Hi Viola. You know, I speak a lot about geography and I usually talk about the four tier 1 regions, but maybe I should say continent instead. So, the four continents we currently have are EMEA, Americas, Asia Pacific, and China. And they are almost perfect because if you accept the minor market where PC isn't developed yet, MENA, South Asia, and Africa, then we have four regions with almost exactly the same population, with roughly 1 billion inhabitants in each region. But some people argue that what does matter is the number of players in the game per country. And to that, I have three things to say. First, to me, population that have developed PC market is a really good statistic because it's gonna take in account the market you could conquer and not only the market you already have conquered. Second, is that you are right. Player statistics per country is a statistic that is really interesting to use. And third, that sadly we don't have this data. But today, we're gonna try to find this number, or at least try to make an approximation of this number. And for that, we're gonna use one precise thing, the number of teams in Premier. And we're gonna use the number of teams in the Act 2 and a mean for the 6 last split. So we avoid to introduce BIA in case of a region is more busy during this part of year. This is not perfect, but that's a good start to guess how many people are playing Valorant per region or per continent. Well, sadly I can't take the statistic of China, it's not available on Tracker, so let's just look at the three other continents. The number total of Premier team on these three continents is a little bit under 30,000, which means for 1,000 Premier team, you have a little bit more than one partner team. And this is an interesting data to keep in mind because it's interesting to see how many partner team a region would have if it was given based on the player pool and see who is underrepresented and who is overrepresented. So, about continent data. The continent that have the less team is Americas, but this wasn't true in the past, and at the start of Premier they were even first, and today America is second if we take moving average. In second position, we have EMEA that is kinda close to Americas in terms of teams, but keep in mind the fact there are no Premier region for Russia and CIS, and this might hurt EMEA's number. And finally, and that's pretty shocking, we have Asia Pacific that is far ahead their two concurrents. And this is really interesting, but we will understand the reason only if we look at data of region per tier 2. But before going any further, I have to talk about Europe's case. First, in Europe, Dash is the most populated Premier region by far, but that's not because German people are playing more Valorant than the other European people. No, this is because players by default play on Frankfurt server because this is the most central server and everyone in Europe got a good ping on it, even some Russian. So if you are a mix of 5 people that come from 5 different tier 2 regions, you will want to play on Frankfurt server and join Dash Premier. And that's why I'll combine all the 5 European tier 2 regions into one region as what we had in pre-franchised era. Obviously, I will do the exact same for North America East and West and combine them into one unique region. But let's end EMEA first. We are kinda in the same situation for North Africa. They have a better ping on Paris or Madrid, so MENA number of team will be lower than the truth, since MENA server is basically only for Middle East. But I will still not mix MENA with the rest of Europe because having data for only Middle East is interesting. And same for Turkey, that was a tier 1 region before partnership era. So, we can finally talk about tier 2 datas, and as you can see, the 5 European tier 2 are first with 7,000. Yeah, much more than NA that have only 4,000 and 5 if you count all the year. Same for Brazil, they are only at 2K team that is even lower than Latin Americas that have 3,000 team. 2 for LAS and 1 for LAN. To complete Europe, Turkey is at 1,500 and MENA only reach 100 teams. But yeah, some of their team probably plays on other server, so maybe they are not that low, but even if I double MENA team, it's still an horrible statistic. And now let's talk about APAC. Yeah, Korea is at 4,500 and seems to be the fastest growing market while NA is going down. And Korea have now more premier teams than NA. And this is why APAC is now far ahead Americas in terms of premier team. In second place in APAC, we have Southeast Asia that is between 2.5 and 2. And right after, we have Japan between 1.5 and 2. But the huge surprise here is that South Asia have a decent player pool. South Asia is higher than 1,000 teams, which would mean they would have more than one partner team if the number of partner teams depend on the number of premier teams. And in fact, if we take only this split data, they will be more near to have 2 teams than 1. So no, we can't say India doesn't have the player pool to fill a tier 1 roster. On every metrics, they have more premier teams than Turkey. Oceania isn't too far to have a partner team if it will be based on the number of premier teams. If you take all the year, they are closer from 1 to 0, and having a franchised team will surely have boosted the hype in the region. It's an emergency that Riot give a franchised slot to Oceania if we don't want the region to die. And finally, there are one last region, and it's Sub-Sahara Africa. Cape Town have a server, but I don't know why there are no premier region in Africa. I really hope it will happen soon, even if they are not so much team. It's okay if they are only one division. The region just need to start somewhere. Alright, I still have a lot to say about the stats I've gathered, and I really want to make a video about why Premier Stats worry me for the future of Valorant. But I think it's time to stop for today because the video is already too long. Count on me to update the Premier Stat after every split. But for now, bye!